Now, this is something your boss can verify for you, the overtime? Okay, great. Well, that's a really good income. I don't think we're going to have any problems finding you a suitable property. Now, in terms of long-term debt, do you have any personal loans, car payments, anything outstanding that I need to know about?
Yes, I have debt, credit card debt.
Okay. Now, do you have any car loans on top of that? Or you own your car outright, or do you have a car loan? Okay, now,
Yes, I own a car. I haven't. I have several debts.
okay. Now, if we were to find you a property in the next 2 or 3 weeks, do you think you could pay the car loan off?
Uh, yes, I will pay my car debt off.
Okay, that's great. Well, we need to look at a few more things now. What is the time frame for purchasing a home? If we find something in the next couple weeks, are you ready to put down an offer?
Well, it depends on the house. If it's important.
That's right. Well, there's really two ways we can go here. One is to go with a conventional loan, and that'll take about 3 to 4 weeks to process. The other is if we go with a government loan. Now, that's an FHA or a VA. That takes a little bit longer, more like 45 to 60 days.
So if I move and I find another house, it'll be 2 to 3 weeks to find it.
That's right, after we find it. Now, besides the car payment, you mentioned a credit card debt. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, my credit card debt. Yeah, I have several large debts.
Oh, how much is the balance on that one?
$1,800, and I give about $6,600 a month.
Okay, well, unfortunately, they are going to count that as a debt against you and qualifying you for a loan.
I will pay it off.
Well, that would probably help, but again, we need to look at the whole picture. Now, how much do you think you can pay in terms of an initial down payment? How much did you want to invest?
For my down payment, 20, 30,000, maybe up to 40,000.
Okay, now let me go in and give you a brief idea of what the costs are involved in purchasing a home in Montgomery County. Now, it happens to be about the same if you go and purchase in Virginia or D.C., and this is really a lot of information, so I will go slow so that we get all the figures down. When we're done meeting, I could give you the figures. I could just print it out on my computer and let you take it with you. But generally speaking, your total costs will come to about 7% of your total purchase price. Now, that includes 1%, which is a transfer tax, and that goes to the county. Okay, and 0.5%, which goes to the state of Maryland, and that pays for all your free parkland and everything that surrounds it. It basically maintains it. And there's $4.40 per thousand, which is charged as an additional transfer tax. They call it state stamps. Okay, so really we're talking about all three of these items coming up to 2% of your purchase price. Now there's also going to be an appraisal fee. That's $125, a credit check. Now this is a lot of information. Do you have any questions?
Oh, I have a question. That appraisal fee is what?
A lot of people ask about that. Now, the appraisal fee is charged by the lender. Say, for instance, he's going to loan you 80% or even 90% of the value of the home. They want to make sure that their investment is protected in case of default. So they send an appraiser out. They take a look at the property. They compare it to other homes in the community to make sure that you're getting a fair price for your home.
How much is that fee again?
Okay, now the appraisal fee comes to $125 or $150 thereabouts. Now there will be a credit check. That's $25. And also I need to mention here that there's something called a loan origination fee. Now with that, they charge you 1% of the amount of the loan. So say for instance the lender loans you $100,000, they're going to ask for $1,000 up front. Well, it's really just interest. Now, there's also something called loan discount points.
That depends on the market. Does it increase? Can I negotiate that?
You're right. In most cases, you can negotiate it. Now, in a tight market like we have today, they're going to charge you more points because they want to have more interest up front. They don't really care who pays this. It can be either the buyer or the seller.
So, if I sell my house in the
That's
future,
right.
do I still
Now,
have to pay that?
you can request that the seller at least share them with you, but if you're going to make a low offer, then I'd suggest you pay all the points. Now, since you're transferring, your company might be interested in helping you out with the closing costs.
Will the credit check work?
I would check because most companies do pay at least some of the closing costs, and I would let them know that it is customary in the case of a transfer that they help you out.
So all of that would be covered?
Not all companies, and the thing is they are very high. Now, one of the reasons that they're so high is that you're paying a year's taxes plus a minimum of 2 months property taxes up front. Now, this is something you're going to recoup when you sell it.
I missed that.
Well, the account, this is going to go in an escrow account. The lender puts it in escrow so that when the tax bill comes due, they have the money to pay it. Now let me summarize once again. When you're purchasing the home, the total purchase price, I'm going to give you 7%, and that's the highest it's going to be. Now that 7% is going to include the loan discount points and the loan origination fee. Now, if I can get you a property for just the loan origination fee, then we're already doing good. We're saving you a point.
I don't understand.
Well, we save you a point by negotiating. Now, like I said, the 7% is on the high side, and that really is a conservative figure, and I like to do it that way because I'd rather have that your expenses are a little bit less than a little bit more.
So I can negotiate.
Oh, you mean you're referring to the back to the loan origination? Yes, you can negotiate that, and I think we won't have any problem doing that. Now, like I said, the 7% is really coming in on the high side. Now, I would rather that your expenses end up being a little bit less than a little bit more.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes the other way, you're just going to be disappointed. Now, do be sure and check with your company about the closing costs. As I said, they might have a policy that you're just not aware of.
Yes, I'll check. I'll check with my work on that. They cover the stamp too?
That's right. Most of them will either pick up the loan origination fee or an amount equal to that. Many of them do pay the transfer taxes and the attorney's fees.
Okay.
Okay, now let's go back to the original question about how much of a cash